Here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. He'll take it at the 42. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Jets as Henderson now on 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Jamie Collins, formerly of the Browns, in on the tackle.
He's crazy. We're going to 54 line. Tighten up. At the 50-yard line. We're going to 54 line.
Here's Henderson. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Check it right in. I got one.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Three down. Go to 54. Line in. Here we go. 46. 50. Mike's 50.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Truck. Mike's 50. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Gun. Then we're going to 53. 26.
4th down. Prescott eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Out. Hey, kill. Turn 26.
On the counter, it's Henderson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Darrell Henderson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise. Don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Second down, McKinnon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 yards there and a first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get, and then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact?
And the Raiders have got him. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
We're going to 53. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Third and long for Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. A deep ball for Ellington. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
The Raiders take over. Let's go. 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he's exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run on 1st down. It's Ross. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle. On 2nd down, it's Ross. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Off the play fake, here's Taylor. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back into 24. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The kick by Joseph is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken about the 12. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton Dunbar with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for them.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Again, it's Henderson. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Here we go, let's bring it. Go to 54, go to 54.
Third and short yardage. Prescott. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Taylor. Raiders and Jets contest is a part of the NFL 100 series. And a little history lesson back in November of 1968. There was a game between these two teams where the Raiders scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute to win. And actually coverage was broken away from that game on the East Coast to show the movie Heidi. So a lot of the Jets fans missed the Raiders' comeback. Can imagine some saddened faces when they took the rubber bands off their newspapers the next morning on the East Coast. But don't worry, folks, we will not be interrupting this broadcast to show the movie Heidi. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Switch it, switch it, switch it, switch it.
Play action. Now Taylor. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
58, right over there, right over there.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. This pass complete to Reynolds. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the gun, it's Taylor. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. John Ross, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. On the carry is Henderson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Kill. Check back 11. It's coming this way.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. On 1st down, Henderson. He'll get 3 up to midfield. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run once more with Henderson. And they can't bring him down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Henderson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders have recovered. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Kamale Correa gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
58 to Mike. Watch the curl. Watch the edge.
To try again after the sack. Taylor. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kamale Correa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Now Taylor. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Henderson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Again, it's Henderson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes...
He goes left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. They'll run with Henderson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Prescott to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Josh Jackson, and he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If he'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. John Ross with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and it's third down. Prescott from the gun. And the Raiders have got him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carlos Dunlap able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and short, McKinnon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They're going on fourth down. It's Taylor. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Oakland, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
S-T-R-O. How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the rings. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the rings. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the rings. Million beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's, great color coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few, can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me, we ain't go together.